Look closely at this scene. The lip sync is accurate, the expressions are fluid, and motion feels natural. But the moment you generate the next shot, a common glitch occurs. Your protagonist suddenly wears a different outfit, their facial structure changes, and their age shifts. The character's identity breaks between cuts. When that happens, the viewer is pulled right out of the story. They stop paying attention to your dialogue because they are busy figuring out who is on screen. To fix this, we are going to follow a strict 4-step pipeline. By setting up the right constraints, using completely free tools, we can lock your character's appearance across every single shot. You will need 4 tools for this workflow: Chat GPT to build the data, Gemini to generate the visuals, Grock to animate the faces, and standard video editing software to stitch it together. Getting a professional result does not require an animation degree or an expensive software license. It relies entirely on how well you manage your prompt workflow from Step 1. Step 1 is building our master plan. Extract the main prompt text from the provided project resources. Paste that exact text directly into Chat GPT. This single entry acts as the central command to initialize all the variables we need for the video. This master prompt breaks down our data into 4 branches. First, it generates the story script. Second, it locks in physical character traits. Third, it builds environment prompts. Finally, it outputs dialogue prompts, dictating what characters will say. These text outputs are interconnected. They form a rigid blueprint dictating every visual step that follows. When creators skip this centralized planning phase and write prompts scene by scene, the AI loses track. Bypassing this data generation phase is the root cause of AI video continuity errors. This interface mockup shows the Gemini workspace, our environment and character rendering engine. Before you generate anything, you must enable the Thinking 3 Pro toggle. This parameter is required to process complex, multi-layered visual instructions accurately. Copy the character descriptions from Chat GPT and paste them into Gemini. Alter only the background text. The character variables remain locked. Apply this method repeatedly. Generate a new image, verify the character aligns, and move down your list until all 12 frames are ready. By completely separating the character generation logic from the environment generation logic, you force the AI to keep your protagonist's appearance intact regardless of where they stand. Next, we use Grock. This tool acts as a translation layer, converting static frames into animated video clips. Upload your first Gemini still image into Grock, then copy the matching dialogue prompt we built earlier and paste it into the prompt box. Watch the rigid static face come alive. The character instantly acquires natural facial expressions, subtle movements, and perfectly synchronized speech. Once you have animated all your scenes, we enter the final assembly phase. Import the files into your editing timeline, sequence the clips, layer subtitles, and add music. Look at the flat, silent sections at the ends of this audio waveform. AI tools inherently generate flatline pauses at every clip boundary. You must strictly slice away this dead air and slide clips together to maintain professional pacing. Raw AI generations are just building blocks. Aggressive editorial pacing and layered audio design elevate those blocks into a finished product. Here is the final assembled sequence. Notice how the character moves through multiple shots with absolute physical consistency. The camera angles change and the lighting shifts across environments, but the protagonist's specific design remains fully intact from the first frame to the last. By utilizing this structured pipeline, you have produced a fluid, multi-scene animation, bypassing the traditional learning curves of keyframes and rigging entirely. Head down to the comments and outline your next project. Are you building an educational guide, a narrative story, or an episodic series? With character continuity solved, high-quality storytelling is no longer limited by your technical abilities. Your final output relies strictly on the depth of your imagination.